This episode is brought to you by my YouTube members. Hit the join button below this video to learn how you can help support the content on this channel. Thanks to Square Enix for providing a code. I'll be honest, I did not like Outriders when I played the demo. I tweeted that I had nothing nice to say at all. These ridiculously short loading screens and camera shake during cutscenes make you wonder, is this seriously a new game coming out in 2021? But I gave it another shot, because what it lacks in presentation, it absolutely makes up for in gameplay, to the point that now I'm genuinely addicted. I like it so much because of everything it chooses not to do as a looter shooter. Don't get me wrong, Outriders is absolutely a looter shooter, much like Destiny or Borderlands. But to me, it solves so many problems that I have with these games. It cuts out all of the crap, the downtime, the endless open worlds, and the terrible loot. And it focuses on what's actually fun, shooting bad guys and feeling really powerful doing it. Outriders forces you to play aggressively. Enemies throw grenades when you sit in cover. They each have a melee archetype that rushes at you. Each player class has a way to regenerate health by attacking. This creates an interesting loop that keeps me moving and keeps me attacking. One of my biggest beefs with Destiny is that despite being a very polished FPS, it's still a cover shooter. If you want to do anything difficult in that game, you still have to hide behind cover or else you'll die. Outriders does have cover, but it's kind of a rhythm. You can only use it to catch a breather before moving again. It makes the moment-to-moment gameplay just much more exciting to me. I really love what Outriders does with its abilities because they're just as powerful, if not more so, than the guns. They have short cooldowns, so you can use them a ton in combat. As the Devastator, I'm rushing into fights with Boulder Crash, I'm activating Tremor to regenerate health, and I'm using my shotgun to barrel stuff enemies. It feels a lot like running a Vanguard Shepard in Mass Effect, which is a feeling I just really miss. What's even better is how abilities synergize together. I haven't played a ton of co-op, but with the Trickster, you can slow down time in a bubble, and it slows down everything that passes through it, including bullets. So you can combine these powers together across all of these classes to create some unique gameplay that just looks and feels awesome. Speaking of power, oh my god, every looter shooter needs to take a page from this power curve. With 10 hours played, I'm already level 20, and every new ability and skill point makes me feel exponentially more powerful. A huge gripe I have with these games is gear flat out sucks until you hit the end game. In Outriders, I found a piece of loot that let me activate my ability twice as often as normal in the first few hours of the game. Later on, I found this legendary rifle that summons lightning beams and torches enemies. Outriders wants me to feel very powerful from the start, and I do. I also love what it does with difficulty. If you play through levels without dying, the world tier increases. This rewards you with better loot, but makes the enemies tougher. I'm not a big fan of constant looting in video games. I think it's something that takes me out of the action, and Outriders admittedly does do a lot of that. But I recognize that's part of the genre, and luckily this game has great loot management. Straight from the ground, you can decide to dismantle gear if it's just not good. In the menu, you can tag and dismantle a ton of pieces all at once, and you can do it based on rarity, which gets rid of all of the bad green gear, for example. But like I said before, loot really does define how you play. I found one weapon that deals poison damage over time, and another that deals bonus damage to enemies who are poisoned. So logically, that creates a loop of applying poison and then switching weapons to finish off those enemies that feels really satisfying. What's great too is that there's a complete crafting system that lets me customize weapon and armor mods. So if I don't like poison, for example, I can swap it for another mod that I've looted on a weapon before if I like that one more. This creates a pretty robust customization system that, again, is available early on. I can make these decisions within the first few hours of the game. These are the kinds of systems and the kind of depth that's usually locked until you get to the end game of a looter shooter. But Outriders lets you play around with these from the very beginning. I really did not like Outriders' story when I played the demo. Similar to the loading screens, I thought, are you kidding me here? Are we doing the campy B-movie thing? But I kept playing, and yeah, turns out we are, and it works. Outriders is an 80s action movie, but the catch is that it knows exactly what it's doing, and it just goes for it. Main characters that you meet are dying left and right, and the player character is the typical anti-hero. And I'm completely okay with all of this. Outriders fully commits to what it is, and I'm actually invested in the overall plot and the cast of characters thanks to the many cutscenes that actually explain the story. Destiny, by contrast, does this vague, cryptic sort of storytelling that's more about the mystery than actually giving you concrete plot points and explaining what's going on. Outriders has a lot of lore if you want it, and while I can't say I'm like deeply invested in this story and it's the best story I've ever played in a game lately, I am enjoying it more than most looter shooters. A big selling point for me is that Outriders is a complete game on launch. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end that are all fun. Now, this is something that I haven't been able to test myself yet because I'm only level 20, so the end game, for all I know, could be bad, but at least it's there. Way too many live service games launch without an end game. I'm looking at you, Anthem. While Outriders specifically says they're not a live service game and you shouldn't expect that, these games typically need something to chase after you've beaten them. Now, I will admit, I'm not playing Outriders like a live service game. I actually don't want a live service game out of this. I want to play a full-length campaign, beat it, then probably put the game down unless I'm addicted to it. That's exactly what I want. And once again, I'm mostly playing this game solo. I want a full experience from day one, and that's what this game promises. Not something that strings me along with small updates that leave cliffhangers that tell you to keep playing to get the full story or the full experience. Of course, we don't know if Outriders will do that yet. It just came out, so we'll see if that comes true, but that is the promise for now, and everything Outriders has said, the developer and the publisher, has been on point. When you talk about transparency, Outriders has had one of the most honest reveal to release cycles for a video game that I think I've ever seen. In a post-Cyberpunk 2077 world, hell, in a post-Anthem world, communication is so important. We knew exactly what Outriders was from the very beginning. We got a beta that's not a time trial. You could just play it as much as you possibly can if you want to. We got more trailers than I think anyone can count, with actual gameplay in them from the start. And best of all, we have a developer in People Can Fly that's already making key changes based on feedback. For example, in the demo, there was this massive camera shake in cutscenes that was really jarring. You can get rid of that. And they also explained why those little loading screens happen within levels. It's to make sure that your party is together and you're moving forward if you're playing multiplayer. Within days of these issues coming up, they responded and they made a difference, an impact. It's a level of communication that, beyond the quality of the game, deserves praise in and of itself. Oh, and another thing, no microtransactions. This is a genre that has that expectation built in, but similar to Borderlands and Gearbox, they're not doing it, and I really hope that they don't start. When Square Enix approached me to be an Outriders ambassador, I was still very skeptical of the game, and even after playing the demo, I was publicly like, I don't really like this game. It's not a game I thought I would like, but I just really do. If the first 10 hours are reflective of the entire experience, then I think I'm really going to enjoy the rest of the game. If I end up putting the game down after I beat it and see the ending, that'll be completely fine with me. Again, I'm not trying to treat this as a live service experience. Best of all, it's on Xbox Game Pass, which for me is a real game changer. I mean, it's already seen higher concurrent player rates than Marvel's Avengers, which just shouldn't happen on paper. Outriders proves to me that if a game plays well, if it's just really fun and it's built on a solid foundation of systems, it doesn't matter what the presentation is. It really doesn't matter how it looks. It will get its hooks in me like this game has. That's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to get it out shortly after launch. I know it's shorter than normal, but yeah, I'm just really enjoying the game enough to share it with you guys. So if you enjoyed this particular video and you want to see more videos like this, please let me know by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss the next one. You can also hit that bell to turn on live notifications so you make sure not to miss my next one. If you want to stay connected on social media, follow me on Twitter. I'm at jayveeonYT and Instagram jayvee.yt for updates on all of my content. If you want to chat more about Outriders, Assassin's Creed, whatever game it might be, join our community Discord server over at discord.gg/jayveeonYT. Links for everything are in the description below. Big thanks to my YouTube members, my Ultra fans Dave, Grass, Cullen, Bill, and Cam. Super fans Tipsy Sergey, Tarl K, Ryan, Rabby, and William. Fans John, Matthew, Spyro, JVO, Level 42, Joe, Bloodsky, and Kamal. And supporters Nos, Sung, Adam, Mr. Hollow, Quickness, Firkin, John, Jay, Sam, and Abhishek for supporting the channel. If you want to support me further, click the join button below this video. In exchange for your support, you'll unlock custom badges, emotes, and monthly play sessions with the community. Check the link below for more information. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.